Hi, this is Patrick Hancock, and today I'm going to be telling you about how to create a video poem using Adobe Spark. So a video poem would be something a teacher could create for your class, and it could also be a project, a student project, where students are creating a visual representation of a poem. The project is based on putting together, linking the words from a poem, the lines from a poem, with images that resonate with the imagery of the poem. So we start by clicking on create a project, and we want to select video. So we're making a Spark video. You can think of a Spark video as essentially a visual slideshow that gets turned in after you finish the project. It gets turned into a video. There's music that you can add. You can add music as a backdrop. You can also you're also able to narrate, which is what makes this a great project for poetry. So we're going to be taking a poem by Terrence Hayes, a contemporary poet, contemporary African-American poet, and this is a poem from his selection called American Sonnet for My Past and Future Assassin, which is a rather long title. We're just going to put American Sonnet here as the title for our project. And you're able to pick from templates. I like to start with the template because it just gives you something to work from, but you also are able to start from scratch if you would like. So I'm just going to click Show and Tell. Essentially, we are showing a poem, showcasing a poem. So this template works really well. All right, and there is a video you can watch to get started. We're going to skip past that because I'm going to give you everything you need to know here. First of all, we want to select a theme. You want to select a theme that fits with your poem and basically fits the message of your poem. So we're going to go with you can select different colors, as you can see, and this will also impact the font that you have for the poem. So we're going to go, we don't want something too dark here, so we're going to go with the red. All right, and now we're going to add on every slide you're able to add video, text, photo, icon. Obviously, since this is a video poem, and what we're doing is we're essentially using images to tell the story of the poem and kind of enhance the poem, what we're using are photos, all right? But on the opening slide, we're simply going to have the title of the poem. So you go to text, you click paste. Now, one really important feature here is the size of the text is always going to be large, but you're able to determine whether it's smaller or larger. There's basically two sizes. It's like ordering at the restaurant, small or large. And here we're going to go with the smaller one. It just looks better for the poem. So we have the full title of the poem, and essentially for this collection of poetry, Terrence Hayes, each poem, the first line of the poem is the title. So that's the part that's bracketed. American Sonnet for My Past and Future Assassin is actually the title of the book. All right, so we've got our opening slide. We need narration. So narration is something you always want to keep the narration, and in fact, Spark helps you with this. They give you an alert if you go over 10 seconds. So I'm going to do just a quick practice recording on this slide to give you some idea. It's also, you have to hold down the microphone for the entirety of your narration. If you let go, it will stop recording. Important to remember. So we're going to click on this. From Terrence Hayes' poetry collection, American Sonnet for My Past and Future Assassin, this is I Lock You in an American Sonnet that is part prison. Okay, I went a little over there. It was 12 seconds. If I were to retry this, re-record it, I could probably get it down to 10. It's not, for an opening slide, not that big of a deal. So we're not going to worry about that right now. And then we simply click on the next slide. We've got a series of slides here at the bottom. You can always add an additional slide just by clicking plus, and it will give you an extra slide in there. So what we're going to do is we are adding photos, and then we're going to overlay the text of the poem over that photo. All right. For our first photo, you can either upload a photo, or you can also find free photos. And sometimes on Spark, you'll be able to find one that works. Sometimes you won't. We're looking for a photo of a prison, since that is the opening line of the poem. And we actually have some images here that would work. And so we're going to go with this one with the light going into the prison. And kind of fits with the message of the poem. Let's try a different one here. I think this one's even better. All right, and then we go to the poem, and you simply this is just a really quick and easy way to do it. Is to take the line that you want to copy, and then you come back and when you add the text, you just paste that in, resize it, and you've got it. So we can record this line now. I lock you in an American sonnet that is part prison. All right, and you can see how that only took 5 seconds there. And we're able to then move on to additional slides and continue to add photos, continue to add text. You can change things up a little bit if we want to go to a split screen, and you're able to then add 2 photos. So there's one part of the poem where there's actually 2 images I would like to use. And I've already saved these images, so I go to upload photo. And it's great if you're going to be doing this project to pre-select the photos. It just makes it quite a bit easier. And so there's a line in the poem where it mentions both a meat grinder and a music box. So on one side, we're going to add the image of the music box. And then on the other side, we're going to be able to add the photo of, let's try this here. Upload photo of the meat grinder. And we get both images. And so you can swap items here as well. And then we do have to, in this case, kind of pick one side for our text. Okay, so you can, a little bit tricky here, having some issues with adding the text to the split screen. So I'd have to play around a little bit more and see if that's something I can do. But you can definitely have the split screen of images. You can also go with a caption slide. So if we want to, that obviously takes out one of the images. But we go back to the poem then. We find this line we want and copy it. And then we're able to paste that text right in here, and we have the overlaid image. All right. You are able to edit your projects. So I actually have a couple versions of this project, and you can go back in. You can re-record. So if you listen to your project, if you try it out with one class and you realize something is wrong, you can go back, you can re-record any of the images, re-record on any of the slides, and you can go back, you can change the pictures. And so you can see here kind of how this all comes together into a series of images and ends up capturing the complete poem. At the end, you're able to have a credit slide. Here I give credit to Terrence Hayes for the poem. And then you're either able to download the project, you can preview it. I recommend you preview it. Don't panic if you preview it and some of the audio sounds messed up. A lot of times with Spark, the video audio will seem like it's out of sync or that part of it's in the wrong place. But then when you share it and you click publish, you get a link here, and you can copy that link. And that link is what the video is actually going to play like. So you can see here that you can embed the link, you can copy the link, you can email it, use it in Google Classroom, Twitter, Facebook. All those options are available for publishing and sharing your project. Some of the real benefits of this project is the ability to have students practice fluency. If you have students creating the project themselves, getting that audio right really requires them to read the text multiple times and really work on that fluency piece. And obviously with poetry, there's a lot of complex words, so there's a lot of things students have to figure out about the language in order to make this project work. The other big benefit, and this is whether you're using it as a teacher or having your students use it, is just the ability of images, pictures, paintings, artwork to enhance the message of the poem. Here, Terrence Hayes has all this wonderful imagery in this poem, very intense imagery. So I was able to pull images of a music box, an image of a sleeper hold in a wrestling match. Crows are kind of a motif that reoccur in this poem, and so I was able to use both a photograph from Spark itself and then a Vincent van Gogh painting that together really bring the poem to life and are a great way to present this to students in a very short video format. Probably wouldn't be your only reading of the poem, but it would be a great way to get students to connect to some of the imagery and meaning that is going on inside the poem itself. Okay, this is going to be a quick preview of how this all comes together. Couple things I would change with this is I would change the music. It doesn't really fit with the themes of the poem. And then you're going to notice that the audio is not perfectly synced for this.